those who are new, my name is Ista, and this is a channel me and my friend made to basically document our lives. This is the first ever video I'm making without Patricia, and it feels so weird because I'm not used to talking alone. I mean, I am certain times. Don't find me weird, please. The first video, and I keep stumbling over my words because if you didn't notice, I'm the awkward one between the two of us. It's gonna be rough, but please hang on tight, okay? So these are 23 things I've learned at 23. So firstly, nothing actually tastes bad. It's just a bad recipe. So this is an experience I had at school. I used to have this eggplant stew at lunch. It was so bland, it didn't even have salt. So I did not like eggplant for like 10 years. And then my sister-in-law came in one day with this beautiful eggplant stew, and I was ready to knock it, but she was like, try it. And I gave it a try, and it was the best eggplant dish I've ever had till this day, actually. So don't knock it until you try a few recipes. Secondly, start learning a hobby at a young age. So this is one of the things I wished I had when I was younger, but my parents didn't have resources to take me to learn maybe ballet, to learn painting, to learn crocheting, maybe anything that was hands-on. My parents were busy trying to find basic needs, basically. Like education means better schools, better clothes, better life. And then when we could afford such things, I did not have the time. I was busy in university, and now I have to work, so I don't have really a time for hobbies. So if there's one thing I can tell anyone who is maybe 17 or younger than that, is please try to learn a hobby. Once you get older, you won't have time for it. Then the next thing I can say is taking care of yourself. Taking care of yourself physically, mentally, and spiritually. So with this day and age, it's so easy to lose sight of someone's faith or someone's principles because we want to seem cool to our peers, and we may lose our principles in the midst of it and do things which we never thought we could. So by taking care of yourself spiritually, you remain grounded and remain focused on what matters most. And another thing is, like, mental health in most African countries is seemed irrelevant or unnecessary. So if someone would find you sulking or in your room because you're depressed, they would find you a burden or a nuisance, especially because you're not going out to work, you're not doing anything, and they would call you a brat. So I feel like I hope this situation gets better. Physically, as we get older, our body also starts deteriorating. So we don't want to end up 50 and we can't walk or can't basically run. So by this age, we need to make active. I mean, I should try to do. We're not gonna talk. Moving on. So we work to live, we do not live to work. So capitalism has made us lose sight of what's important because we are so focused on building and expanding wealth. You could be working, you could be trifling, struggling, hustling to get money, but then when you're old and you have bad health, you will spend all your money on taking care of medical bills, paying for children who sometimes won't even respect you. So you need to consider these things when you're working yourself to death. You need to take time for yourself. You need to have balance. You need to have at least once a month, you need to take yourself out. You need to go on a vacation once a year. It could be in your hometown. You could visit your hometown. You could go somewhere relaxing. If you reside in the city, some time in the country can help a lot because you need the quiet and the peace. It could do you, it's important, because I know it from experience. Sometimes my family become too much of workaholics, and they treat relaxing as laziness, which is not, because our body needs rest to be productive. You will survive if you go to an event or somewhere by yourself. I don't think people realize that being alone can sometimes be healing. Do not compare your timeline with everybody else. Do not compare people with different resources and different backgrounds. What is yours will come to you. You do not need to beat yourself so hard. Maybe because, oh, John is 23 and John is a millionaire and I'm not. You do not know what John does for a living. You do not know how John got to be where he is right now. Maybe he had several connections. Maybe John's dad is a multi-billionaire. You do not know that. So you don't need to beat yourself over people who have more resources than you. Remember the good times for what they were, and do not try to recreate them. Do not be afraid of trying something new. Find a good mentor. Journal your feelings. So this could be anything. It could be journaling in a book. It could be having a virtual diary. It could be having a visual diary. Like, you could record yourself. You could record the things you do in a day, and it could help you reminisce, or when you watch the video, it could return the feelings that you had at the time you were recording it. So I feel like that's important, to relive memories, basically. Everyone should have a job at retail or hospitality to be less of an asshole. Do not be frugal on yourself. Take care of yourself. Spend money on yourself. Take yourself out. You do not need someone to take you out. Take yourself out. Buy yourself flowers. Like, go on a date. No one needs to take you out for you to feel happy. You do not need validation from anyone. And you do not need affirmation from anyone. Not everyone is going to like you. And not everyone is going to have the same point of view as you. Learn to budget. That extra cash is going to come in handy. Network. I know this can be daunting for an introvert like me, but you really need the connections. You really need to meet new people. You need to have more experiences in your life. So take the first step, make the first move, break the ice, ask someone a question, do whatever. Like, network. Treat others the way you want to be treated. Asking questions does not mean you're dumb. So there are many times where I thought that if I ask a question, someone is gonna think I'm stupid. Someone is gonna think that I'm not well versed in a topic. So I stayed with certain questions that would have just been easier if I just asked, like, what is this about? But no. And sometimes I would get caught up in my lies, and I would have to pretend and cause a web of lies, and then I would end up feeling guilty. So just ask. Don't wait for people to find you interesting. Go out and get interesting experiences. At some point, everyone needs therapy, even though they try to deny it. And I think that's it. So thank you for watching this video, and I'll see you next time. Bye.